welcome to my kitchen. I'm Steve, and on this episode of Cooking with Love, I'm going to be making a lemon meringue pie. Now, this is a classic pie. It's loved by just about everybody. It has a lemony filling and a nice fluffy meringue that sits on top of it. It's a little more involved to make, but well worth the effort. It's going to become a favorite of yours. All right, let's get started. The ingredients we need to make the lemon meringue pie is 1 pie crust. Now this is the homemade pie crust that I've showed you how to make on a previous video. I'll include a link below for that recipe. If you don't want to make your own pie crust, you can certainly get a store-bought pie crust. We need lemons. Now these lemons are going to be zested and juiced, so we need the juice and the zest from these lemons. Eggs, and these eggs I've left out to come to room temperature. We're going to separate them carefully, so we're going to use the egg yolk and the egg white separately. For the filling, we also need some cornstarch, granulated sugar, butter, and water. And for the meringue, we're going to be using the egg whites, and we need a little pinch of salt, some cream of tartar, and some granulated sugar. All right, now the first step is that we're going to roll out our pie crust, fit it to the pie plate, and then we need to chill the pie plate for about 2 hours in the refrigerator to really make sure it's cold. All right, let's get started. I'm going to be flouring our board here. Now this pie crust I made yesterday, I had it in the refrigerator overnight to make sure that it's totally relaxed and chilled down. Flour this well. And I'm going to roll this out till it's about 1.5 inches or so wider in diameter than my pie plate. All right, as you can see, the crust is a little bit wider than the pie plate. Now we're going to transfer it to the plate and just loosely wrap it on your rolling pin. Allow this to sink in. Press it down, and then I'm just going to go ahead and fold the edges over and then crimp them. All right, now we're going to put the plastic wrap back over it and into the refrigerator for 1 to 2 hours. And in the meantime, I'm going to set our oven on to pre-warm at 375 degrees. Our pie crust has been chilling for about 2 hours. Next, we're going to blind bake this pie crust. That means we're going to cook it without any filling in it. And the reason we do this is that our lemon filling does not have to be cooked in the pie. It gets cooked on the stovetop. And this is true if you're making a custard or a cream pie. You want to bake your pie shell before you put your filling in. Now, the way we're going to do this is by lining the inside of the crust with aluminum foil. So I'm just pressing this down, making sure it's tight against all the edges. And then I'm going to fold the aluminum foil over the edges of the pie. And I want to put some weight on this so that it doesn't rise up, bubble up. I have actually some ceramic pie weights, and I bake enough that it was worthwhile for me to do this. If you don't want to spend the money on ceramic pie weights, you can use dried beans or rice. Or if you have another pie plate, you can place a pie plate in here to weight it down. Or some people will even use sugar. you can fill this with sugar, and then the sugar gets lightly toasted, and you can use that to make your meringue or your pie filling and whatnot. It adds a little extra dimension to the filling. All right, now this is going to go into the oven. I've already preheated it to 375, and this is going to bake for about 15 minutes. Then we're going to take it out, remove the aluminum foil and the ceramic pie weights, and then put it back in for about another 7-8 minutes. Our pie shell has cooked for about 15 minutes. I removed the aluminum foil with the pie weights, and then I used a fork to make some holes in the bottom of the pie crust. That's called docking. And now this gets returned to the oven for about another 7 or 8 minutes. While our pie crust is baking, I'm going to separate out the eggs. Now I have a bowl of a sand mixer that I took out of the dishwasher. It's very clean. You don't want any oils inside the bowl. It'll prevent the white egg whites from whipping well. And I need a bowl for the egg yolks, and I'm going to put the egg whites directly in here. But I'm going to separate them in this bowl because you don't want to get any yolk in your egg white. So if I see any egg yolk in the egg white, I'm not going to use it and place it into this bowl. So what I use is the shell to separate out the egg white. The next step is to prepare our pie filling. So into a medium-sized saucepan, I'm going to add our water, the sugar, the cornstarch, and now I'm going to add the zest of the lemons and the juice of the lemons. I removed the pie shell from the oven. I'm just going to set this aside now and finish making the filling. I also turned the oven temperature down to 350 degrees. I have our lemon mixture on the stove top now. I'm going to be whisking this on medium heat to get the sugar and the cornstarch to dissolve. And we're going to bring it to a slow boil, and it's going to start thickening up. Alright, this is thickened up. Next we're going to temper our eggs. I'm going to whisk our eggs and slowly pour in some of this hot lemon mix. And now I'm going to put the egg mix into our lemon mix, whisking constantly. All right, it's thickened up nicely. We have nice big bubbles. I'm going to turn off the heat, and we're going to whisk in the butter. We're going to pour our filling into the pie shell. Now we're going to prepare the meringue. We have our egg whites in the mixing bowl. We have the whisk attachment. I'm going to add the cream of tartar to the egg white. And we're going to beat this until we get soft peaks. Alright, now we're going to add our sugar and the salt, and we're going to beat it again until we get stiff peaks form. Alright, we have stiff peaks. Now we're going to add the meringue to the top of the pie. And make sure it touches the edges of the pie crust. Now this goes back into the oven, 350, for 15 to 20 minutes until the meringue is lightly browned. Our pie is finished. Joining me for the taste test is my wife Iris.
Looks good.
I'll give it a try.
Very good.
The combination of the sweet and the tart from the lemons, really, really nice. The pie crust is flaky.
The meringue is nice and fluffy and soft.
Very good. Great classic pie to make. Give this one a try. We'll see you on the next episode.